Welcome to a new video in my home automation series, and this is going to be just a mailbag preview video a preview video because today I received all of this in the mail. It came in two separate mails. As you can see, there is one Sonoff and there's a lot of Zemismart stuff, and yeah, it's quite an interesting, mix of different stuff, definitely new stuff. I think all of these are actually new releases from these two companies. And I just wanted to give you a quick heads up of, what these are. Maybe we can just quickly unbox it and then look at the website. And I will be talking about these in subsequent videos. Maybe I would just, do again some lives on the first setup, and I would do a shorter review video later on. But maybe first one, let's look at the Sonoff, because just only one Sonoff and the rest is going to be Zemismart. So I already created a post. I didn't know about this, but this is the new M5 smart switch. And the big difference here, you can already see that. So, there is basically two big things about this M5. First of all, the original was black or maybe dark gray, so this is white, and it's a clicky one. It also comes in, single gang, 2 gang, 3 gang, and it comes in all the US size and European size. So this is, I believe, it's size 86, which is that's the bigger European, size 86. That's the bigger European style, and as you can see, it's 2 gang. There's nothing really on the back, which is, new. It's it needs a neutral wire, M5 2-channel 86, and it is not a touch one, but it has these very small buttons, a small sort of like dome tactile buttons. No, not tactile, dome micro switches, I think. And otherwise, it's very similar to the old M5, and this is white. So obviously, if you want like a white NS Panel Pro, then that's going to be a really nice match with that. And the other big thing is that it is also Matter compatible. So if you want to use it for Google, Alexa, Home Assistant, sorry, not Home Assistant, I mean HomeKit, then it is Matter compatible and you would be able to use that. So I don't think that we are going to see an awful lot of new features or any, different stuff, but it's Matter compatible and it's a different color. So, it's a nice addition, especially if you did not choose the M5 just because it was black and you like the white switches, then, well, your prayers are answered now. And let me quickly just check to this view. So the site is already on where you can purchase it. And I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. Yeah. So you can see the various images. Oh, and by the way, you can see the various options here. So yeah, that's the US version, and then the European version. So that's the price. You see 120 is the US version, 80 and the 86 is the European version. So one is slightly smaller. And yeah, maybe I can just quickly scan through the prices of the the three main ones. So it's roughly about 20 USD for that, and you can buy the NS Panel Pro or the Mini with it in a bundle. And by the way, you can see that there is a special promotion code to get 10% off if you buy 3, and that only runs until the end of the month. Oh no, that's the free shipping over $85. But there is a separate promotion code. Yeah, and you can see the 3 different sizes, and because it's Matter, it works with all these systems. And the rest, I think it's going to be the same. There is not going to be too much surprise in that. But it looks really nice with with white hardware. I think there is another picture somewhere. Yeah, that was the old black version. There was another picture somewhere where it shows with a, that's one. It's not the NS Panel Pro, but it's the NS Panel, just regular NS Panel with white. It really looks nice. And even the 1 and 2 and the 3 gang version next to each other looks good. Okay, that's it. Let's go over to the next one, which is actually this one I was asked to review, which is a Zigbee dimmer switch. And I don't really have a lot of dimmers. I don't think I've reviewed a single dimmer switch up until now, and definitely not one which is Zigbee. So that's definitely going to be a first. And this got a little bit mangled in the postage. And yeah, it's fairly nice hardware. Nothing unusual on the other side, so you need neutral, live, and then you have the 3 outputs for the different live. It is multi-voltage, 200 gangs per watt. You can see the module number, and it is Zigbee, and it has a nice finish. I'm just going to peel this off. But yeah, it is a metallic side edge, which is shiny on the bevel, and it's sort of like silvery on, and then you have touch controls for the 3 channels, and I'm guessing that's the slider to control the brightness. So I'm not really a big fan of touch controls, but this is definitely a nice user interface. I mean, the slider would have to be, you know, touch anyway, so I think it just makes sense that the buttons are touch as well. But it looks really nice. I mean, look at these, you know, sharp letters, very small, very discreet, a very nice finish. This glass top and the side, I really like it. I think it looks really nice. Maybe this silver edge would be a little bit out of place if it's placed next to other lights that have you know, different design, but otherwise it's really good. And it looks like the US form factor, but then this thing here on the bag, it looks like sort of the size that it would fit in the European wall socket. So I'm quite interested. I quite like it. It looks very decent. Yeah, it looks good. Let's look at the listing. So is this one. So 3 gang Zigbee, that's the product number. So it is 30 USD at the moment. Oh, actually it comes in 2 different versions. So I've received the US version, and so that's it. And you can see there is a European version as well, which is obviously just has a, you know, smaller bezel, but I'm guessing that maybe even the back is going to be exactly the same. So this would, yeah, so this would probably, even the US version would fit in a European socket, but it would just look a little bit out of place if it's placed next to your usual square-shaped European switches. And yeah, that's how the control is going to look like. And of course, you know, voice control everything, because, yeah, I mean, well, you can pair it with any Zigbee system, so I will be testing this with Tuya. And yeah, you have all the controls. I'm assuming that this looks more like a Tuya screen. You can do the brightness and control and yeah, whatever. And of course the wiring diagram is straightforward. And 49.76, yeah, so the backside is the same for the European and the US version. Yeah, you can see the dimensions are exactly the same. So it's the front panel, whether it's more like a square shape or a little bit narrow, but like a taller shape that the typical US household switch. Okay, so that's it. It looks nice. I already like it. And if you buy this in Europe, then maybe you just have to place it separately from all your other light switches, and nobody would notice that it's a different form factor. Okay, good. Next one is, let's do this Zigbee gateway. I didn't ask for this one, especially because I do have the M1, which I reviewed recently, and that is Zigbee and the Matter gateway. So I could have used that, but I have another Zigbee gateway that I usually use for the Tuya testing, but maybe I can consider replacing. So this probably uses a newer chip. It has, you know, newer sort of hardware, probably supports some new stuff that my old one, which is a really old Blitzwolf Zigbee gateway, doesn't do. You can see the model number, so this is called the T1, and yeah, I mean, it's a Zigbee gateway. It has an external antenna, it needs wired connection, and it has a USB Type-C for power, and that's pretty much it. So in the box you would get an antenna as well, which is probably there, and also some cables, and you get a pokey for the reset thing, and you don't get a power strip, so you have to provide your own power adapter for that. But it's just a normal USB-C for 5 volt 1 amp. So I'm not expecting anything special from this, and it's just probably going to be, yeah, you can see that you have a piece of cable and the antenna. Actually, are we getting, yeah, and the USB cable. So yeah, just a basic setup, nothing fancy, but it should be good. I think probably I should use this as my new Zigbee gateway, although for testing I prefer the wireless option because I don't have to have a cable around, but actually I do have a cable here, so I should be able to use that. Okay, so that's the Zigbee gateway and listing. Zigbee gateway, so it's this one. Yeah, it is designed for the Smart Life, so Tuya Smart Life app, and wired with an antenna, and it's called T1, and it's cost 35 USD. I don't remember what's the price for Zigbee gateway nowadays, but yeah, powered by Tuya. I'm wondering if there is anything here, how many devices it can support. Maybe it has a slightly bit better range because of the external antenna. So a bigger area to cover, but yeah, Tuya or the Smart Life app, and the rest of it is just generic stuff. I mean, if you have seen one Zigbee gateway, then you probably have seen all of them. Standby power, yeah, it doesn't really say anything about coverage or how many devices supports, but I guess it will be typical. So moving on, I've also received 2 lamps, light bulbs, and that was quite surprising because I don't think that we've discussed about the light bulbs, but anyway, I do like some new stuff. Maybe they were sent for the maybe I thought maybe they were sent for the dimmer, to test the dimmer with, but they are not, because they are all smart light bulbs, and actually, as you can see, both of them are Matter compatible. So so far I have one single Matter light bulb, and that was Zemismart as well. So the first and the only one was Zemismart, and now I have 2 more. So the first one is, you see the number and the specs, so 7 watts. It's quite decent from a filament light bulb, I think. And the one thing which really struck me is, well, first of all, as I said, 7 watts from filament is pretty good. And if you can make it, the filaments are in 2 different colors, so you can definitely change the color temperature. And the other thing which really strikes me is that they managed to fit all the control circuitry in the E27 screw inside, basically here. So you can see, maybe you can make out, you can't really, but there are some electronics there. So all the voltage regulation, the radio, and everything is fitted inside. So that's quite remarkable. And the only reason I have some reservations against those is, what would be the thermal management of that. So I think I would use my thermal camera when I do the testing to see how it performs, if it heats up in any rate or not. But yeah. Oh, interesting. It says it's a filament light bulb and it uses 220 to 240 volts. So this is definitely not multi-voltage. Maybe this explains the, the small package. Maybe they had to, because they had to shrink down all the electronics inside, it was, specifically designed to 220 to 240. So probably there is going to be a version for the US 120. And you can see the color temperature 2700 to 6500 Kelvin. So definitely warm white to, the usual warm white and cool white spectrum. So this looks quite good. And The price is $16.20 on the Zemismart website as well. Yeah, it says $220, and it is Zigbee and Matter. Actually, is this? Sorry, it's not Zigbee, it's Matter compatible. So I think for this I have to bring my M1 hub. Oh, well, I can just link it directly to Google Home. I think that's what I'm going to do. And so it must be Matter over Wi-Fi. Yep, dimmable, adjustable, Matter, obviously, sorry, it's not Zigbee, it's Matter compatible, Matter Wi-Fi. Yeah, light bulb, does light bulb stuff, and it does it on Matter. So that's cool. I really like this form factor. I like these big bulbs. And now I'm just, actually it would be nice just to look up how much these things cost if they are not smart ones, because yeah, I mean, if you have a big place, you want all Matter light bulbs, it's going to cost you quite a lot to buy these things for every single. I mean, if you have a big chandelier which has like 6 lights, then it's already like, you know, well, 150 pounds, 150 USD. Well, no, 100 USD just to get the bulbs, just to get the smart bulbs. Next one is a more traditional light bulb. Actually, this is probably the most generic looking light bulb, but it has colors. Can we focus? Please. Oh, there's too much white. Okay, so this one is also only 220 to 240, 50 Hertz, and RGB plus CW. So, you know, normal stuff. Again, you can control colors, and you can also control the color temperature, and everything is in a small package. I mean, here definitely you have this much space to fit all the electronics, so this is why I'm not so worried about, you know, thermal management and everything, because, and this one is also, I mean, it feels plastic because it's not that cold, but definitely you have more surface to dissipate heat. So I think for the, you know, the filament bulb, I would definitely, you know, use it in a scenario where you don't have a really closed light fixture, so the heat can dissipate away instead of being, you know, clapped in a closed environment where you would just the heat just would accumulate. So that's it. It's a Matter compatible light bulb. It looks nice. It looks, I would say, it looks fairly generic, like how the IKEA light bulbs look like, and most of the other ones. And this one, I think it's 8 watts, if I remember correctly. Yeah, sorry, 9 watts. Yeah, ZML2A60. Yep, looks good. And let's look at the listing. And it's this one. Yeah. Oh, actually, this one says 120 to 220. But then the box says 220 to 240. So actually, ZML2A60. Oh, yeah, sorry. You have 2 different variants for the different voltages. Okay, now I get it. Okay, and they are roughly priced at the same time. So A60 is the sort of the European version with the well, not European, but the 220 to 240. And I'm assuming the A19 would be the 120 voltage. So just to make sure that you pick the right one when you are purchasing this one. Otherwise, you will get the wrong voltage and it's going to ruin your day. But yeah, you would be able to do voice control, control temperature, brightness adjustment, RGB control, yeah, the usual timing and group and everything. And this looks like a generic, well, definitely this is a home. I wanted to say that this is a home kit, but I don't think that, oh, it says smart things here. Okay, so Alexa, Google Home, other app, and yep, all these devices would work with this lamp because it is Matter compatible. And that's, I think that's the, well, I want to say that's the Google interface, but I think that's probably the Alexa interface. So I think I would test this with Google as well. Yeah, so A60, 220, 240, A19, 120 volts. Yeah, that's what I assumed. And in both cases, it is 9 watts. It looks like that the color temperature is a slightly bit different between the two different models, but to be honest, I think 2700 Kelvin and 3000 Kelvin is pretty close anyway. Good. So that's product number 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So that's cool. I think what I'm going to do is probably I'm going to start with the Sonoff, and then you know, just work my way through all these products. So probably it's going to take some time until I manage to go through all of them and then review all of them. But yeah, they should be good. I think the dimmer is also definitely going to be special because that's new. The Sonoff one is going to be special because that would be the first Sonoff. Well, it wouldn't be the first Sonoff because that's not the first Matter product, but it would be interesting to have a Sonoff switch which is then controlled by Google directly, not via the EV-Link integration. And yeah, and then we look at the hub as well, and also the light bulbs. So I think it's going to be fun, and that should keep me, you know, going for a couple of weeks until I finish all these videos and edit them together and then release them. So if you're interested in any of these, then, you know, just subscribe or just keep watching, or just, you know, keep coming back from time to time. But even in the meantime, I'm going to put the video, the link to all of these products into the video description. So if you want to make an early purchase, then you can do that as well. That's cool. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you next video.